Alright, how's it going everybody? My name is Ultra David. Sorry for the little delay now, but we are back up. So, you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about Street Fighter Cross Tekken today. But hold on, don't hit Ctrl+F4 yet, don't hit that Alt+F4, don't unplug your machine. It's actually pretty interesting, and I want to go over one of the sets that I think can help people understand what the game can be about. So let's go into a little bit of backstory. Everybody knows about Cross Tekken and how the game, for a multitude of reasons, just didn't do that well in the competitive scene, and doesn't really have that many players left. It hasn't been advanced as well as it could have, and there are lots of reasons for that, and we covered them in the past, and I don't really want to go into them again, but that's the truth, that even now, as I'm watching the stream, people are just doing nothing but, you know, ragging on the game, essentially. So that's kind of what I expected, but it's also why I wanted to highlight this set. It's a really interesting set, and it's between two of the best players in the world in both this game and in Street Fighter 4. It's between Gamerbee and Tokido. Tokido, I think, got top 4 in like everything that happened in Brazil. It was ridiculous. Yeah, he did. He qualified in everything, is what I mean to say.
Didn't he win 3 of the games?
Yeah, he won 3 of the games and got 2nd place in Street Fighter 4. So he is obviously one of the best players in the world, and he's really good at this game too, and has some really cool ideas about how to play his team, which is Sim, Cody, and Gamerbee has another really interesting team in Jack, Julia. So if you're used to seeing this game being played as like Ryu, Kazuya, like maybe, I don't know, Rolento or something, Rufus, and only seeing that, it's actually not that imbalanced a game, and these 4 characters are really good, kind of secretly really good. I've always thought that Julia is one of the better characters. I certainly think that Cody is a top 3 character. I think he's for sure one of the best characters. And I think that Sim and Jack are both really strong too. They're interesting because they have a lot of cool stuff going for them. So Jack is, like in Tekken, he's a ranged kind of guy, but in Tekken he has lots of up-close stuff too. He's got throws, etc. Not really in this game. In this game he's a zoner, and he wants to play at this kind of range where he can react to things, or where he can force you to do certain things with his Seismo. He has Seismo, it's called Surprise Attack, but it's basically Viper Seismo. And he can do things, he's a threat from a huge, probably the biggest distance of anybody in the game, because even from max range, if he does Surprise Attack, then tag cancels into his partner, they can continue the combo from full screen. So he's this really weird character with good anti-air and good range, and very poor like up-close mix-ups, and very poor ability to defend when he's being rushed down. And then Julia, just look for awesome footsies. That's really what she is. She's one of the best footsie characters. She has some nice meaty mix-ups too, and ways to deal with roll. Dhalsim is basically Dhalsim as he always is, right? He's a great range kind of character. But in this game, he's more damaging than he just about ever has been, because of the boost chain mechanic. It really adds a lot to him. And he has some really cool safe jump setups that you'll see. He has some really cool anti-roll technology that you'll see. He's a very interesting, complete character, and he has ways to tag into the opponent from very far away. You know, the Yoga Sniper, as in Street Fighter 4, right? He can do that, or do Crouching Fierce, tag cancel in either way, and it's kind of this 50-50 from, you know, 2/3 screen that is kind of a you know, tag cancel. You get a combo with your incoming character. And then Cody. The reason that I think he's one of the best characters in the game is that he's basically Street Fighter 4 Cody with better footsies and better anti-air, and those were essentially his problems. I don't know about problems in footsies, but that's the big deal for him. He's still kind of a counter hit character. If he gets up close, counter hit throw is not as good as it used to be, because throw just isn't as big a range as it used to be. But he still has this great kind of moving wall character quality to him, where when he's moving forward, he takes total control of the ground, because his crouching short and stand medium kick are so strong. And if you're trying to jump towards him, don't even bother, because this back strong is the stupidest anti-air normal ever. It's just basically a way to knock you out of the air. I feel like he doesn't have a hitbox in the upper half of his body. It just knocks you down. So these are the 4 characters. They're not like the usual kind of character that you see in Cross Tekken. As for the game, look, it's not the flashy kind of crazy game. Is it Marvel 3 where you have big crazy combos and like flashy stuff and big comeback factor? No, it's not that game. Is it King of Fighters where there's a lot of intense pressure and you can have big combos and they're cool looking? It's not that game either. Is it like Street Fighter 4 where meaty pressure is extremely strong? It's also not that game. It's a different kind of beast than the other games that are being played right now. And the kind of game that it is more about spacing and consistency. I would say that those are the two biggest things about the game: spacing, consistency, and reads. It's not like an up-close mix-up sort of game for the most part. It's a really interesting game of space control and being, you know, on your game throughout the whole round, because as you well know, I'm sure, games can last a whole round. And it's still, you know, I know it might not be popular in kind of public circles, but there are lots of top players who really enjoy the game, if not necessarily watching the game. And there are certainly people who are still putting in work, coming up with new stuff, and thankfully the two players that we're going to have are among those. It's not a perfect set. There are some problems. I do think that they could be doing a little bit better. But for the most part, it's a cool introduction to a game that is going to have an update in I think December. And the update to the game, I guess I'll go over it at the very end. But that update and then this set kind of had me thinking about it. Well, you know, nothing else major is happening. I might as well break down why I think that the game is still cool and can still be really enjoyable to play. So, let's see. How long is it? I think the set is about 30 minutes, but we're not going to get a chance to watch the whole thing. Just to let you know what happened, Gamerbee and Tokido meet up in winners finals. Tokido wins. Gamerbee is sent to losers finals where he wins. And then in the grand finals, Gamerbee resets it 3-2, and then in the last set, Tokido ends up winning it 3-2. So 2 3-2 sets in Street Fighter X Tekken can last quite a while, and that's actually what happened. So we're not going to get a chance to see the whole thing. You know how these usually go, where I end up getting bogged down by details too much and end up taking way longer than I intend. But we'll try to get through as much of it as I can. And let's actually take a quick break, and when we get back, I'm going to get into the action. Okay, cool, welcome back. So like I said, we're going to be talking about Gamerbee versus Tokido in Street Fighter X Tekken from Brazil. They both qualified. They'll be in San Francisco in December for the finals of the whole Street Fighter 25th anniversary shindig. But let's go over their match from yesterday. Yeah. Okay, here we go, starting out. Combo Fiend apparently lives in Brazil and can commentate or play in Brazil whenever he wants to, so whatever, man. I mean, good job, good luck. I'm kind of jealous. That's awesome. So Tokido on the one-player side, Dhalsim and Cody against Jack and Julia. So Jack versus Dhalsim is a funky one because they both have this ranged mechanism to them, and you're gonna notice. Oh yeah, okay. So there's one cool thing that I don't even know if people realize. He has a fly, and it has armor on it, and I guess Tokido didn't realize that either because he tried to punish him, and unfortunately for Gamerbee, he didn't really get much of a good punish on it. But you can see Jack hits like a ton of bricks when he gets opportunities. That's something that he definitely is great at. His, you know, for the most part, damage is normalized throughout the game. So, you know, a Fierce will do, what is it, 60 or 90? And then, you know, instead Jack has like crazy damaging Fierces. So, or you know, all of his buttons.
Should I try going back to QuickTime Player? Do you know if QuickTime will play WMDs?
I don't know.
Because it still has those delays.
Oh, is it still freaking out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Let me try another player real quick.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, sorry about the horrible quality. But I guess we're going to try another player and see whether that works any better. We've been trying VLC because people had recommended it. And I don't know, the last couple times we've tried it, it's just been kind of freaking out. So we'll try something else instead. Try the old QuickTime.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, no?
Can't play WMPs, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So we're just gonna have to stick with VLC.
That's fine. You know what? Let me during this part of it, I'm actually gonna convert it to something else. What do you want, like AVI?
Yeah. No, do MOV if you can.
Sure. MOV it is.
Okay, so we're back to playing this again.
Oh, are we back in? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the quality. I hope it's okay. Anyway. So, yeah, okay, so we were here. It's just a ranged battle between two characters who want to be good at it, but kind of like can't really do what they want to normally do because of that. And you can see that they both don't have the greatest foot speed, but it's all about finding that exact spot on screen. And there, Gamerbee found that exact spot where he can use the armor on that rush punch to get through a fireball on reaction. So that's why I say that the game is all about spacing. And there's a little 50-50 Yoga Sniper mix-up that I was talking about. It's all about that because you need to be at the exact spot at all times that you want to be, and if you don't, you're just not going to be able to win. Here's a safe jump setup. Yeah, so nice. Dhalsim gets those on the slide. And like I said, he's a more damaging character than he usually is, so you do have to watch out for that stuff. Gamerbee ends up getting hit by that a lot, because, you know, cool setups going on. Oh, again! Wow, and he knocks... That was so sick. He actually knocked Dhalsim out of the air right there. So boost chain, again, the crouching short is a 3-frame crouching short. It's very long, and it's a real threat. And there's another character with real threat kind of footsie normals. You can see how he's playing Julia. He just needs to find the right spot on screen and just harass Dhalsim, who doesn't really have the best options from there, as per usual. Safe setup again. And Cody just gonna end this. So this is the first game that actually ends up going pretty quickly, in my opinion, as things normally go for Cross. But it was characterized, as you could see, by really strong spacing, by two players who have an understanding of the opponent's character and their character, and who know where it is that they want to be standing for the most part. But there is going to be a lot of interesting adaptation going on in this set too. That's awesome, getting a punish on there and bringing in Cody. I didn't get a chance much to talk about Cody in the last game, but he's a really strong one. As you can see, that setup, okay, that's a really cool anti-roll tech. You can time that to be on either side, and it's really funky. You're not really sure where it's going to be on a roll, and you'll see that because of that, Gamerbee doesn't really go to rolls as much as he might want to. Kind of has to just deal with Dhalsim. That's down short toward Fierce. Just build him a little bit of space. Like I said, Jack wants to be a space kind of character. Ooh, I like the mix-up. And now Julia got to try to get in on Dhalsim. Great high block. Again, that 50-50, and he blocks it a couple of times. Now Cody is in. So they both have this really strong crouching short and crouching, or just medium kick in general. Yeah, you see it there from Cody. It's so hard to get past that. And so Gamerbee just has to find the exact timing. Oh, she has a 1-frame punish. Most characters don't have that. Or actually, you know what? It's 2 frames. 1-frame startup and the 1-frame freeze. So it punishes most things in ways that other characters don't really. Yeah, footsie battles are so sick. I know, okay, they're not the most exciting things, but in my opinion, few things in fighting games show a better understanding of the game and control of the character and understanding of spacing than just the footsie battle. And that's where this game, one of the ways that this game really shines. Wow, look at that damage. And he looked for roll right there, unfortunately getting Dhalsim out. So basically there are a couple areas that Gamerbee wants to stand against Dhalsim. One is just outside of that range, and then the other one, of course, is inside of it. You know, very, very close inside of it. Either outside of where he can do 50-50 Yoga Sniper or Crouching Fierce mix-up into Cody, or inside where she's playing her own pressure games. Oh man, that jump roundhouse is no joke. And now safe jump setup. I'm telling you, like that anti-roll stuff, it makes it so that you really don't want to get involved in that. You're just not sure which side he's going to show up on. It's not as easy as it might look right there. And he takes full advantage of it going into the Team Super. Meter in this game is gigantically important. If you don't have meter, you're just a much less effective person at everything. At mix-ups, for example, there's no Yoga Sniper. There's no real Yoga Sniper mix-up. Yeah, that's safer. there's no real like Yoga Fierce or Yoga Sniper or Crouching Fierce mix up into the Cody right now. He doesn't have Super Punish. He doesn't have the ability to make things safer than than they would be. So it's basically much worse offense, much worse defense. Which is why it's so important to recognize like what that team super at the end of the last round did. Look at all that's been happening so far. It's because he hasn't been able to have the meter to play the games that he wants. And now finally Cody in. Like I said, Jack, ass up close, he really has a tough time dealing with that stuff. Even his Dragon Punches, they have holes where you can actually get on his noggin or like underneath the fist on both sides. So Cody now is going to look for a way to open things up. He has a life deficit. And this is where the consistency factor comes in. Yeah, Gamerbee just walked towards. And that's the consistency thing. Is there going to be a big major comeback at any one moment? Well, not if you're being consistent. And that's I think why a lot of top players like this game, is they like the ability to enforce that consistency. Yoga Sniper, with the bigger screen in this game than in Street Fighter 4, Yoga Sniper is more of a threat too, because in 4, it sucks that when you do a sniper, you kind of put yourself like a quarter towards the other side of the stage, where in this game, you have a lot more room to toy with. So now it's probably on Jack. It's kind of hard to tell. There's that armor I was talking about, and Jack was looking specifically for that stuff. Now, here we go. Into Jack for some serious stuff. And the timer... There you go. Game 2 goes to Gamerbee. It's 1-1. It's that long-term consistency that makes it an interesting game, a strategically interesting game. Yeah, it's a timeout. And you know, if people tell you that there are a few timeouts in Cross Tekken, that you know what, it's more true than it was before. But there are certainly still timeouts. And even when there are not timeouts, time is always a factor. But I actually don't think that that's a problem. It's just a different way to play a game. It just means that you have the whole round to deal with stuff now. And you have to be, you know, you can't depend on an individual situation. You have to be a lot more consistent. I keep going back to that word, and I think that that's pretty cool. And it makes you play with time as a concern from very early on in a way that very few other games do. So safe jump setup again coming in. Oh my god, he just... Ugh. I don't know that he's guessed right on that more than just a couple of times on the Dhalsim. It's a safe jump setup for Dhalsim that leads into big damage if it works. And there's not much reason to not do it. Wow, that was a huge mistake. Going into the full boost combo, and that is super unsafe. So now Jack has to try to make a comeback. Wow, he got given a gift right there. And that is a huge drop for Tokido that happened. Luckily for him, he ends up taking the round on a Hail Mary Super, which is pretty safe, so it's not that big a deal. But he ends up taking the round. In most situations where you do something like that, where you just do a really dumb jump toward and end up losing that much life, it's really bad for you in this game. You can't make those risks as much as you can in a game like 4 or Marvel, where you know that you have comeback factors. You don't really have a comeback factor in this game. Goes for throw, doesn't work, and now Jack, he knows what Sim wants to go for, right? I mean, it's how Sim has dealt most of his damage for the most part. It's the high-low from a distance, and so Jack wants to stay either in closer than that or farther away, and here he is just pestering with pretty significant chip damage. Oh wow, I don't know why he got hit by that. That sucked. And now Cody going for a safe jump setup. Cody has toward roundhouse, which is a corpse hopping move in this game, and it'll get over stuff. And if you use it at the right timing, you can make it so that the opponent rolls into you. It's really cool, especially in the corner. So Gamerbee getting away, and now it's back to the footsie battle, which is tough. I mean, Julia has great footsies, but Cody is super strong on that. Definitely one of the best in the game. Great block, and that's a good block too, because it means that there's only one bar now for Tokido. Wow. And like I said, meter is extremely important. If you can make the opponent waste a meter, that's huge. Wow, back strong is crazy. That's an overhead, but yeah, not much you can do. And I think that's going to be it. Well, I guess it already is it, right? There's the time. So that's now 2-1 for Tokido. And at this point on stream, if I recall correctly, people were rooting for the game to just end, for Tokido to just end it. and Gamerbee to lose on purpose or whatever, because he's already qualified for San Francisco. But that doesn't happen, my friend. That doesn't happen at all. He ends up coming back, which I was personally really happy about. Feigning the overhead there. And Jack putting this great pressure on against Dhalsim. Look at how much chip that surprise attack does. It's not insignificant. As you can tell, this game is oftentimes about whittling your opponent away. And if you can do that, even if it's just by chip, that's not something to laugh at. Oh, thought he had something, but no. And at this point, you know that Dhalsim wants to tag. Right? It's pretty obvious what he wants to go for. But Jack is such a threat from so far that, you know, a hard tag is just a terrible idea because your incoming character is going to lose 40% life for free. And so he wants to set up a way to get out as Dhalsim and never really ends up doing it. Didn't want to risk Cody coming in, I guess. Play the hero. On reaction, you get a juggle from that far away. Look at Dhalsim's life just like that. Go Jack. 50-50. And he doesn't want to bring Dhalsim right back in, so he keeps Cody in too. Another thing about this game that's interesting, it's more interesting when you're playing than when you're watching, is the combos are super interactive. The one that you pick is hugely based on all sorts of stuff. How much meter you have, what time is left in the round, which character you want to have in based on, you know, how much regenerable life the character has. Lots of stuff. And so when you see somebody bring in a character or keep in a character, understand that that's a decision that you're making. That in most other games, if you hit a combo, you just have a combo and then that's it. Safe jump setup again. Oh, there it is. I think that's the first time that he's really challenged that safe jump setup. And as you can see, Julia can't get around it. Oh, don't test that stuff. Okay, in Street Fighter 4, if you do that kind of thing, fine. You know that you have Ultra, you know that there are comebacks possible. But in this game, as you've seen, comebacks are just not easy to come by. And so each one of those little decisions is huge. Might not take a lot of life considering that you have 2 life bars, but you know that each one of those things could end up costing you the round. Dhalsim coming in and dealing pretty good damage on Jack, who has a lot of life. I love that Tokido uses Dhalsim. I've never seen him play Sim in any game before, but he always goes for the cheap stuff. And he knows Sim is pretty cheap in this game. The setup again. Oh, he just gets away. I guess he was looking for roll. Stand roundhouse. You know what? He's probably going for the big charge. Wow, back strong for both of his characters is ridiculous. That was close. Dhalsim in this game, man, those standing normals are a bet, each one of them. It's worse than in Street Fighter 4, where if you whiff a normal, you can be totally screwed. No more anti-air because you just don't have enough frames to put your anti-air normal out. In this game, some of his standing normals take even longer than in Street Fighter 4, and so they're even more of bets. You really have to be economical with your normals, and I think you've seen that from Tokido so far. There's that 2-hit. Man, he has, actually, now that I think about it, more similar characters than I thought. Back strong is super good anti-air for both. They both have good anti-air. They both have these high or low mix-ups into the other character. They're kind of crazy. So now it looks like things are down for Gamerbee. How's he going to make a comeback? I've been talking about how you can't make comebacks, but if your opponent has the wrong character in, just like Tokido did, then you can go down. If you notice still how much life Tokido's Cody has left, he was almost full life, and his Sim had such little life. And because he kept Sim in, you know, we know what the punishment is from Jack. I guess you haven't seen it yet more than a couple of times, but just trust me that from almost full screen he can punish for a lot of damage. It was for that fear that he didn't bring Cody in, but that's why he lost. And if that had been different, man, this could have been over already as 3-1 Tokido, but now it's 2-2. Gamerbee with a chance. Look at that range work. Tokido's trying to get in. He knows that Jack is strongest outside of that with crouching jab into stuff. But he's weak up close, and now you see Tokido got in there for a second. Throws obviously not very much range in this game, so you can't really go to them as you often would in other games to open people up. You got to be a little bit fancier about stuff. Nice block. He kind of steals that meter in a way. Think about it like that. It's a meter bet, and with meter so important. It's a big bet. Oh, this is so sick. Yo, I didn't know he could do that. I actually didn't know that he could do that until I saw that, but that was godlike. So at this point, Gamerbee is starting to figure out the timings on those high yoga snipers. Oh, nice. I think that's going to be the round. Spending 2 bars is often stupid in this game because you can get as much damage out of a non-super combo for just 1 bar on a tag than you can on a super, but if it's going to end the round in that kind of situation, then obviously it makes sense to go to. Man, that's so sick. I really got to use that fly like that more often in my own games. I use Jack Geef. There's that Dragon Punch to just reset the situation for Jack. Oh man. He wants to be far away. Oh, and he didn't go to anti-air and didn't think that there was going to be a low either. It was an empty jump into low. Nice high block. And you can hit the opponent's character as they're leaving too. They're not invulnerable. Julia trying to deal with those Cody footsies. Man, just found the exact perfect opportunity right there. Starting to block that a little bit better. Oh, did he get a big punish? No, that's a huge drop right there, but he's got another opportunity. Bringing in Jack, who doesn't... Okay. And now we have... Nice, this is going to be a significant advantage now for Jack. Look at that damage on Sim. Oh, I think he got him. Yup, sick. Like I said, Sim Super is actually pretty safe. So it can be a wake-up in a way that a lot of other characters can't do. So that's now... That was the reset, I think? Yeah, okay, so you know what? Let's pause this. Alright, cool. That was the first set between Tokido and Gamerbee, and they're going to have a second set that I'm going to be back for after these messages. Okay, cool. Welcome back to Level 3 Focus. My name is UltraDavid. We're going over a Street Fighter Cross Tekken set from yesterday in Brazil, where Tokido and Gamerbee showed up from East Asia and had a battle for first place to qualify into the Street Fighter 25th Anniversary Championships in San Francisco in December. And we just saw the first set between them in Grand Finals. Gamerbee actually ended up winning the first set 3-2, in part on a couple of really big errors from Tokido. Think about what I said for the consistency thing, and that mistake by Tokido in keeping in his Dhalsim, and I believe what would have been Gamerbee's second game, might have cost Tokido the whole thing. It's that one mistake, that one error, that can really end up changing things in a way that a lot of other games don't really have. In other games, man, if you screw up with your first character in Marvel, don't worry, you have 2 characters left, and one of them has X Factor 3, and one of them has X Factor 2, if that's what you want. And so you can still go totally ham, and go nuts, and still get a win. And even as that game gets more consistent, and much more strategic, and it's a really interesting game, don't get me wrong. But it has that extra random factor that makes it cool to watch, and fun to play. But this game, it is fun in a different way if you're the one playing it, because it has something that I really like. That is to say, the fact that I need to play well the whole time, that I can't just kind of bet it all in some situation and do okay on that bet, based on that bet. I have to make sure that at each point I'm making the right decision, I have the right spacing, I know what my opponent is going to do, I know what his options are, I know what my options are. It's a game where you need to have all this information. You can't just go nuts. And I think that that's cool. I understand if that's not coming across. No, Capcom didn't pay me to do this, but I wish they would. Please, give me money. Because we're not, Lord knows we're not getting that much doing what we're doing here. This is just for fun. Yeah, esports pennies. Ooh, man, Zimbabwe dollars. Alright, so let's get back into this thing. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I didn't like Street Fighter Cross Tekken before the game came out. When it came out, I was surprised that I liked it, and then I started to not like it because I got sick of the glitches and whatnot. And I came back to it, and it's like I've been saying, I think it has a lot going for it when you're playing it. Try to punish there. The non-EX version of that is definitely unsafe. Wow, he's got caught by that mix-up so many times. It's a safe jump setup that allows Cody to land with an empty jump if he wants into a low. It's got a lot going for it. And those launchers are low unsafe, are low invincible. Wow, he needs to get Jack out like whoa, and he doesn't. I think that's the first time that's been a mistake from Gamerbee. If you are Gamerbee in that situation, and you're going to tag out, and it's, you know, just Dhalsim to just tag you for a fierce, it's not that big a deal. Wow, that was funky. Big hitbox Jack. Yeah, that doesn't work. We already saw him try that. No, sir. And now Cody coming in. Is he going to go low again? You know the setup. Nope. It's a high, but he has the high afterward. Slowly whittling down Jack's very high life. And can Gamerbee get his character out? No! It looks like he probably won't here. Oh, unless... Yeah, okay, I thought he was going to drop it. Nope. So there's a pretty dominant game from Tokido. And a couple of mistakes from Gamerbee where he just wasn't able to get his character out. One of them he certainly had a big opportunity to against in the first round where, sure, you know, his Julia would have taken damage, but he probably wouldn't have died. Sim getting away. Yeah, I'm not sure why he keeps going for that. That's the third time now that he's gone for that, and it's been a mistake each time. So Jack getting away, able to set up the zoning game again. And it's this, yeah, okay, so he jumps toward at a time when Cody was betting on ground normal, when he was looking for something to play footsies with. Very common thing to do when it's a footsie battle. You can't just be one-dimensional about it and make it about the ground, make it about the ground only, because then your opponent gets used to your ways and gets to deal with just the ground by itself. You have to also threaten from the air. And even if you get anti-aired sometimes, it's important to establish that threat. That's a high, so Tokido blocks it well. And now Julia trying to get in. One of these games where, you know, there are certain ranges where you can jump on Dhalsim a little bit more effectively. There's one, for example. A little bit closer in and he wouldn't have been able to do it. It's that spacing, super important. Nice, and this is gigantic. Is it a lot of damage? Not really. But what's really important is the time on the clock there. When it gets down to about, you know, 15, there are situations where you just can't make a comeback, where it's just almost impossible. But wow, he's kind of giving this one away, huh? So 15 seconds left. Can he? Wow, and Tokido, I thought he was going to start playing defense because of that clock. I guess I was wrong. And now, of course, he's going to. Yeah, I really don't like that EX. I think that was a really dumb EX right there from Gamerbee. I've been talking about how important the meter is in this, and if you start the second round with 3 bars, and your opponent has 0, you got a significant advantage over your opponent. You can do a lot of extra things. That's why Sim isn't throwing that many fireballs, because he's worried about EX rush, for example, and not, you know, obviously he's not able to do the high-low from so far away. So if you have 3 bars, you have a big advantage, and Gamerbee kind of gave that up. Only had 2. Right back into Dhalsim, who's been dealing really well with Jack. There it is, though. Gets the bound into Julia. Oh, doesn't go for the overhead. Just had the dash toward. Nice blocking in that zone right there. Sim with, you know, still a few some 3-frame normals, like in Street Fighter 4, but this time they add up to a lot of damage, and he can make them a little bit safer. He can do more on defense than he could in previous games. Wow, he could have ended that if he had done a super. Or maybe even an EX, I don't know, but he doesn't. And I guess Gamerbee thinking about the meter situation. I almost feel like Gutek's here talking about how meter is more important than life. A couple of nice blocks. There it is. So you can see that there's a timing that'll work. Or it's not so much a timing as a spacing where that'll work. Yeah, that's definitely neither one of those. And now he's got to deal with Cody high-low. Just thought he could make it safe, and he could have, well, sort of anyway, could have made it a little bit safer, but didn't end up doing it well. Oh, here's Sim. Good anti-raw tag punish from Dhalsim. Julia doesn't really have the best anti-airs, that's not really her game, so Cody kind of jumping in on her. She has a dragon punch, but it's not that awesome. Yeah, there you go. It's pretty safe, and so Gamerbee does the dragon punch afterward just in case. And you know, you can actually do the jump roundhouse into tag to get a combo going, just like we've seen Sim doing this entire time, but I guess he didn't want to bet the bar on it. So I'm not really sure who's in the life lead right now, but it's becoming an issue, and they both, I think, are feeling the same way. Yeah, that's why the meter is spent right there. just to try to make sure that he would get the life advantage, but he totally screws up. And this is smart. It's not going to add a lot of damage, but it runs time off the clock. If I were him, I almost would have thought about putting Julia back in. Again, not to deal much damage, but just to run out the time and have a little bit more of a mobile character there. Oh my god, I can't believe he took the bait. And that's pretty much going to be it. Oh, it literally is going to be it. Okay. So I think it's 1-1. See the players there, definitely into this thing. Lots of cool spacing going on, lots of individual mix-ups going on, lots of consistent play going on, and when there isn't consistent play, that's when you see a blow-up. Those are the blow-up rounds. It's when somebody isn't playing well the whole time. Nice, sees it on reaction. Cody, ooh, had crouching jab, could have done a little bit more than that, but didn't quite see it in time. Jack setting up zoning right here. Oh, that's safe. I'm sorry, that's unsafe. No anti-air from Jack. He's letting Cody in. And one of the nice things about that crouching jab and a surprise attack is that if the crouching jab resets the opponent out of the air, as you saw, it'll force a meaty onto the reset opponent, which is pretty sick. Nope, can't jump on Cody like that. You gotta find particular spots. You know, we've seen spots where Julia is able to jump with jump roundhouse. Yeah, I think that's probably one of them. So it's not a perfect anti-air. Smart stuff. Excellent spacing from Gamerbee, knowing where to jump from. And so when Cody realizes that he's in that range, oh, you know what? Never mind. I guess it was from a little bit farther than that the range you can jump on him is. Sets up surprise attack. And now Cody's not feeling good. Oh, no. Wow, that was definitely punishable, and he picked the wrong Seismo. This is going to be a big one. So this is what raw tag punish looks like from Jack. Nice. Into... Ooh, it's the overhead version. And I think that's going to be it. Nice. That's that raw tag. So it's a raw tag punish. And then right after that, just one mix-up from Julia can end it. Gotta stay patient. Gotta stay consistent. Sim, I think, finally going over surprise attack. Yeah, we've seen him panic when he's in the corner or do immediate pressure like that, but not often has he gone to that to beat Seismo. Oh, wow. He gets the jump fierce, but not the crouching jab, interestingly enough. And Sim gets away. He's got a couple, bar and a half. He's definitely a threat for high-low. So Julia trying to get in underneath where that jump fierce will take. Ooh, there it is. Big chance here for Jack to do a lot of damage. He sets up a safe jump for himself, and now he has Sim in the corner. Oh, okay, but alpha counter gets out. And Cody, the crouching short, stand, medium kick, it's not entirely safe, but Jack has very slow normals. Can't really do a whole lot about it, and so Cody takes advantage with his own crouching short. Julia getting in now. Oh, she just goes for the dash, not for the whatever it's called, quarter circle forward H. Slide into, oh my god. I was definitely looking to block the other way. And now it's high-low. Again, that safe jump setup, that's high-low. Ridiculous. So now, look at the situation here that Tokido finds himself in. He's in the corner. He has characters. He's against characters that are pretty good at not getting whomped when they don't want to be whomped. And, wow. Stand roundhouse instead of either the dash punch or just a stand jab. That actually could be what cost him right there. I think it is. Man, that one thing. Those individual moments. So important. Tokido taking advantage of taking the advantage of the situation. It's not a punish on the EX dash punch, but he can at least control what goes on afterward. Jump fierce is a great hitbox from Jack. And sets up that punch against that zoning. Oh my god, he went for launcher, raw launch. And he's going to pay for that big time. Look at this. His character's now in the corner. Ooh, boots. If that had been blocked, it would have been his ass. But he bet the round, and he takes the game on it. Well, I guess he didn't bet the round. Obviously, his character has a lot of life. And had a lot of life left. He has health and life is what I mean. Well, not that huge a risk, I guess. So 2-1, Gamerbee now threatening to take the whole tournament. It's a reverse of the situation that we saw in the first set. Cody now is going to go higher or low. Ooh, it's the corpse hop. That's side to side too. It's counter hit, so more damage. And wow, Jack just can't catch a break right now. This is great pressure here. Nice. One of the things that people like about this game is that your wake-up game isn't free. So in Street Fighter 4, James talked a lot about unblockables today, right? That's not something, okay, it's not something that usually exists in this game. There are particular setups where you can use that, because this game is built off SF4 code. That's still a problem, but with rolls, it's really not that big a deal. It's more about knowing whether your opponent's going to do a roll or not. And yeah, there's some option selects to deal with it, but it's much more of a I don't want to say get out of jail free, but you know, you don't have to worry as much about the vortex, for example, and people I know really like that. Again, it's the fact that you have to play consistency and not get by on gimmicks. Ooh, she just did the jab one, which means she doesn't have the follow-up overhead, and that is a tricky little business. And now we have Sim in the corner. Oh my god, if that had been tag canceled, that would have been good night for Sim. Yeah, punish. Oh, wow, he just screwed it up. He got quarter circle forward punch instead of dragon punch. That could have been a cool 50% on Cody, depending on what Gamerbee wanted to do. Nice high block. He just knew that one. Even though Cody has such good crouching short pressure. Looking to find that opportunity they both are. You can see they're trying to battle for that exact space on screen where they know that they can jump, they can both jump, or where their footsies are good in slightly different ranges for each. But those slight differences make for pretty significant differences in gameplay. And it looks like Gamerbee is the one who has the pressure right now. Finally a throw. But throw means that the opponent can roll. Ooh, he got it! Counter hit. And look at the time, only 3 seconds left. It's pretty much impossible for Tokido to make a comeback right now. So he was very smart right there and built meter. He was doing the dash cancelable special into dash, and you know, built a little bit of bar when he was doing it, which is good stuff. So now Gamerbee on tournament point. Tokido got a battle back. And it's so funny to me seeing Gamerbee play such a character with, you know, it's like a zoning character. He doesn't have very good walk speed. It's so different than in Street Fighter 4 where he plays Adon with amazing walk speed and like great mid-range normals. Gamerbee getting away, and now he's got to make a comeback. Ooh! And now he's got to deal with the high-low even before he even thinks about making a comeback. Oh, he didn't guess right! Oh my god. And just, that's it. So, it goes down to the very last game in this set. Sweet. I like it. I do! I do like it. James Chen is giving me this very, like, disbelieving look. Like, yeah, right, buddy. But no, I do. I think it's really cool. Wow, that was not punished well, and it wasn't the right timing to use the dash punch in the first place. A couple of mistakes right there kind of lets both of them get away with it. Ooh, not the right spot. But on a anti-air fireball like that, you can see you can actually roll forward. Now, Gamerbee, you can see, is kind of, he's been looking for ways to deal with this sim teleport into whatever, and he's been bringing out different options. You can see he's trying jump roundhouse all this game so far, and it worked at the start. Maybe that's why he keeps going to it, but those last few times did not do so. Ooh, uses the armor, and he doesn't get the juggle. And Tokido can't quite end it. Oh, wow, roll forward, and that lets Gamerbee get away. And look at all the recoverable life that Jack has. That means that he still can be a threat depending on how long Julius stays in. And you can bet that he's not going to go for any stupid combos into boost into Jack, so that he can get that recoverable life. There's that wall that Cody puts up. He's slowly walking toward. His foot speed is not great, just like in Street Fighter 4. But the fact is that as he's walking forward, he controls that air right there, and he controls that ground in front of him so well that it's not even that big a deal that he doesn't have great foot speed. Look at this. Can he make a comeback? Actually, I think he might have already made a comeback. It's hard to tell, though. But these last 15 seconds are going to be crucial because neither one knows who has the life lead, so they both kind of need to make either sort of last-minute things. Wow, he had the Cyclone. Why? Wow, Tokido could have just lost right there. Oh my god, it's a big comeback potential. And I think that was it. He had to bet meter to do it, and it's important meter because now starting in the second round, he's down one, and that means, like I've been saying, his options are much fewer. So it's kind of a long-term thing to make a comeback like that, it's not free. It means that in the next round, you're not going to be as effective as you otherwise would have been. Jump roundhouse, yeah, not really cutting it in the way that he wants. There's the juggle. Good damage on Sim. Definitely worth that meter right there. And to convince Sim to not throw fireballs, obviously super important too. Sim trying to put up that wall. Nice. I think it was pretty clear that he was looking for that kind of situation. And so did Gamerbee, and now Jack very low on life. Oh, is that going to be it? Yep. That's it. Tokido takes the tournament after about half an hour of gameplay of, in my opinion, really interesting gameplay. I'm serious. I like it. I think it's really cool that the game is so consistent, that you have to be a smart player, not just for a few seconds, not for half the game, or in some cases, you can't be a dumb player for a few seconds and win. You just got to be a smart dude the whole time, and you have to be picking your spots the whole time, and you can't screw up the whole time. It's that kind of game. And, you know, where you saw the blow-ups where the rounds were dominant, it was kind of some, you know, maybe not mistakes is the word, but poor decision-making in any case. If, for example, there had been a hard tag into Julia right there, would she have taken a lot of damage? She would have taken a lot of damage. Would Gamerbee have still been alive? He would have still been alive, but because he didn't make the right decision, he loses, and he loses the whole tournament. And you know what? He still qualifies for San Francisco. He and Tokido, like I said before, both qualified. The winners, the top two, both did. And so we'll see them in San Francisco. But I'm really looking forward to seeing them play in San Francisco, because they have a couple of team combinations that you don't get to see very often. Now, I do know that you're going to be seeing more Cody. If you watch this coming weekend is the LA Street Fighter 25th Anniversary qualifier, and you know, pay attention, because you'll see some guys who are going to be using those characters because they know that they're good. Please watch. So I think that's it for tonight. I don't really have many Ask Ultra Davids. So yeah, I guess that's all. But you know what? Please do watch not just Third Strike and ST and Street Fighter 4 this coming weekend at the 25th LA qualifier, but you know, please watch Cross Tekken 2 and try to view it in the ways that I've been talking about, as a game that's interesting, not because it has flashiness or crazy comebacks or crazy pressure, but as a game that's interesting because it's a very strategic battle, it's a very consistent battle, and it requires that you have good spacing and control of situations and understanding of situations throughout the whole round. And I think that that's really cool. Alright, I guess that's going to be it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, as always, for the Tuesday show, covering something that we haven't even talked about yet, as usually goes. I'm sure it'll be, you know, a last-minute kind of photo finish, as always. Yeah, alright, anyway. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.